Guys, what's up? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages. Today we are talking about the Lemax Spooky Town, Gates to the Underworld. It is a 2025 Michael Stores exclusive. Let's get into it. Here's Gates to the Underworld, guys. You know, before we get into the actual discussion about like the theming here, I wanted to start off with the fit and finish on this because I think it actually it has a very nice the fit and finish on it's nice. You see here going around here, it's good construction. The paint on it looks good. It's another one of the buildings that this year. Again, that matte finish versus the gloss, I think really helps it, especially with the whole weathered, you know, stone facade here. But good paint on it too. It's a smaller piece, and this is actually classified as a building, though. It's not classified as a table accessory. Yeah, you know, I guess that makes sense because first off, there's a lot of lighting going on here, and it kind of straddles that line. One thing before it's lit up here too, the base of this is actually painted blue. The whole thing is actually that of water. You know, a lot of times they'll have water on it. Like there'll be water parts around the base that, you know, that's painted blue, but the whole thing won't be. This one actually is. The entire thing surrounding it is water. So this does not come with a power supply. You can run it off a power supply, or right down here, that's the battery compartment. You can run it off batteries. Check out the lighting here, guys. This is another piece that's just the lighting on it is stellar. Lemax has really done a good job with these type of pieces where you have the kind of animated lighting without actually having any animation going on here. So you have different colors going on here. The fire down here, all three of the things of fire here kind of have that pulse lighting. And then the skull has the pulse lighting as well. And they're not totally synced up. So when you, you know, eventually they'll kind of go off sync, and there's a lot of like pops of lighting going on at the same time. It doesn't look like the whole thing just goes up and down at the same time. I like how they're kind of staggered just a little bit. So you have different pops of light going off at various times there. It looks really, really good lit up, though. I think they've done a really nice job with the light layering on it. And again, Lemax is like the best in the business at this. They're getting really good at these types of pieces. Now let's talk about the theme here, though, because that's kind of the interesting thing here, what you could theme this with. So this is themed, again, the name of it's Gates to the Underworld. It's supposed to kind of be that thin area, you know, right between the life and death realms. And this is actually the gate here. The funny thing about this is where it says entrance on it, that sign, I actually think this would probably work best without the entrance sign, because the entrance sign makes it look more like a carnival or theme park attraction. And I know I had mentioned in several videos that this year that there are various pieces that would, you know, they would look good in a theme park, even though they're not actually designed to be like a carnival or theme park attraction. I am going to do a countdown list of those types of pieces, not just for this year, but for various ones, because there's a lot of them. And this is another one that would be on that list. But as to actually what's going on here, you can see that snake right there, like the serpent. The guy is coming up to the gates, and the snake is going to attack him, it looks like. You also, on the side over here, you have a three-headed dog, the Cerberus. Up top, you have, you know, like the traditional like Grim Reaper figure. And on the sides here, actually, it looks like carved in stone, you have some other Reapers. You know, and talking about the theming, what I would really put this with, I think this would look great in a graveyard scene. It does also go with several of the pieces that, well, one, the Full Moon Lagoon, with this being a water, you know, surrounded piece, and kind of has all that, like the crumbling stone on it. It reminds me of that. It would obviously go with that. Skull Cave Quarry is another one that jumps out at me. But this would go in a graveyard scene. This would very much go in a graveyard scene. And, you know, this might sound a little extreme, but what you could do, you could actually just remove that figurine there. He would just pop off. If you take him off of there, and maybe the snake, maybe that Cerberus, I think you'd have something that looks like a crazy crypt here. You could leave those on as well. You don't have to do that. But again, if I was going to theme it with like a graveyard type of theme, you could do it that way. And I think that would look really, really good. This would also kind of vibe with the classic Explorers theme that Lemax, I call it that. It's kind of like that Indiana Jones type of a vibe. It would go with that as well. Lemax hasn't really done many pieces around that. And it's been kind of years since they've really gone at it. But this is something that would work with that as well. Personally, though, I think this would work well in a graveyard. Again, with maybe a little modification there if you wanted to do it that way. You don't have to be as hardcore as that, but I think that would be a good idea to just remove the figurine or figurines there. You'd have a pretty cool looking, like a mausoleum type of getup. Whatever you do with the piece, though, the lighting does really work well here. It's very striking, and it draws attention to itself no matter where you put it, in your display. All right, guys, that's the Gates to the Underworld. Let me know what you think below. I love reading the comments. This one, it really comes alive when it's lit. I think it's very, very well lit. It'll be interesting to read what people will theme this with, those that have it. I'd be very curious to hear that. So with that said, guys, I have one more review this season for brand new Lemax Spooky Town pieces. Don't worry, I'm not doing just one more video, but as far as reviews go, I have one more brand new Lemax Spooky Town piece, and I saved one that I think will be very interesting to talk about. So there's no soundtrack on this piece, guys, so the video is going to end here in a second, but thanks as always for the support, and I'll see you guys soon.